What is up, my people? It's pretty dark in here. Welcome to the next episode of my people. Get High Fuck Podcast. To those of you watching, I dropped a link on my personal page. I dropped the link. If you guys would be awesome and go click on the link so that I could see who is commenting, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, you guys are just a bunch of random Facebook users. And it's a lot more fun to comment and react with you guys if we know who the heck you are. So, technical difficulties, sort of. Card difficulties. It's the loudest. AF. Yeah, it's close all the way. Just blowing away here. All right. So we got a few of you on here. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Ladies and gentlemen, our star of the show tonight, Cameron J. Webb, a.k.a. Mr. Widow.
What's up?
What is up, my man? How's it going this fine afternoon?
I'm good. And you?
Fan-freaking-tastic.
So how's the quality of the sound? Is it all right?
Sounds good to me. Everybody watching, cool. Sound good? We good? Yeah, I mean, compared to last time, I think we're doing a lot better so far.
How's yes?
All right. So, for those of you who don't know, this is my main man right here down in Colorado. It goes by a few different aliases, commonly known as Cameron, but also known as Mr. Widow. Also, one half of the gang of Elements, or 1/3 of the gang of Elements, and one gang of the Undergods. Did I get it right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right. So, Mr. Cameron, let's start out with the question everyone seems to hate the most. How old are you?
32. Yes.
And how long have you, and why don't you introduce your little sidekick over here?
What's your name? All right. His name is Matt. He goes by Manson on stage.
That's right.
Because of the fact of the shirt that you made, like he fell in love with that name, so like that's why he used with everything else now. The Manson shirt.
Yeah, you were the designer. I just did my thing, put it on the t-shirt.
You do your thing like all the time though, so.
So for those watching, Matt actually performs with you on a couple songs. Is that right? Are you going to be shy, or are you gonna?
Yeah, you can get in the camera, bro.
Yeah, get in here. You're part of this show, Mr. Hype Man. No.
Come on. Yeah, no. I mean, it's more than just a couple. Oh, really? All right, there we go. It's more than just
in the Wi-Fi.
Standing in the Wi-Fi.
All right, maybe you should back up because that is the spot that we have the issue with.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, he performs more than just a couple of songs, and really, I mean, he's the main hype man we got. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. I give credit to this guy for being my hype man all the time, because he was the one that I took my cues from, and always. So, Matt, you're always going to be my main hype man, just so you know.
I always hype everybody up.
That's good, though. That's everybody needs some pumping up, So, Cameron, how long have you been making music? And which came first? Was it one of your groups, or was it your solo career?
So It actually started as not even the group. It started as me and um, my buddy Arson. We were hyping up our bro Evan, or also known as Animate. He started with is it MRE? I think it was. I really don't know what they were called. I just know that he was a big part of that, and we hyped him up for a Gore Fest, and he came up after the Gore Fest, and he's like, why don't we make a group? So after Gore Fest, and that was shit. I think that was in. Is Sean still outside?
No.
I think it was 2018 when that happened, and then we decided to create Elements, and we went over and wrote all of our tracks. We wrote all of our tracks within one day, actually. There was one that took a little bit longer, but yeah, all of the tracks we made, like we pretty much came with that one day, and then the next week we went over and practiced it, and that next week we got hit up, and Evan got a show with Ritz, and that was our first show.
Right off the bat, your first show was with Ritz. That's crazy. How many tracks would you say you guys wrote in one day?
So we got The Storm, Blowout, Liftoff, and what was the other one?
I forgot.
Back to Simplistics.
How about Life?
Life is Mine.
Oh.
So then I kind of swayed off, started doing my own thing for a while. I didn't do that until pretty much 2019. And I mean, that blew up like no other. And then I created Undergods, and I mean, that was just insane. What up, Kevin? By the way, stop touching.
So,
yeah.
What would you say kind of got you in? Got you into music? How did it start? I asked this question last night, and one of my guys said, he just sat there with a couple of speakers, and the next thing you know, it just kind of.
Yeah, I was watching last night. Actually, I watched the whole thing last night.
So, how did that process come about for you? How did you, besides like who came first, what was your very first musical experience, I guess you could kind of say for yourself?
Shit, I mean,
what made you go, I'm gonna be a writer, I'm gonna rap, what got you going?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
What got you going? Did you start writing first? Did you just wake up and just start rapping one day, or get to play an instrument?
So that's the crazy thing, is I actually started as like a straight up metalhead. I was just like rock music, country music every once in a while. I never, like, rap was like the one genre that I didn't really listen to. There was only a couple of people that I would listen to from them, and that was Tupac, Tech, and Eminem, of course. But before that, like, I've been in music since I was able to talk. When I was in high school, I was playing every instrument there was. There's literally not an instrument that I don't know how to play. But to start doing rap, it was because I finally got on stage and I got the taste with my buddy Evan, or Animate. We got the taste, and I was like, I want to do this. Like, I'm going to we're going over, and I made a couple of beats that we all really liked. Sean made a couple of beats that we all really liked, and we sat there one weekend, and by the end of the weekend, we were a group.
That's incredible. So, not only do you play all of these instruments, but you also just kind of let us know that you do your own beats as well.
So originally, yes. So a lot of the newer stuff, I would say, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but a lot of the newer stuff that I have is like I bought that I needed a little bit of help, because I'm not as good at making beats. Like if it was like live music, I would be making a hell of a lot more, which is coming. Uh, but other than that, like making beats and everything like that, it. Um, my buddy Scott or DeafMonkey, he's way better at it than I am. We got some Undergods has some intense shit coming.
I seriously cannot wait. I'm so excited.
It's too bad you missed the last. We kind of snuck one in.
See, god dang it.
I have to give you shit for it.
I know. It's
All right,
fair. It's fair. Fair's fair. So we've already talked about this, so we won't hang on it too long. But what are some of your musical influences that got you into, that you grew up listening to? Bleh.
It all depends. Musically wise, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, Brent Smith from Shinedown. When it comes to the rap, NF, Linkin Park, is a huge thing. Yeah, so pretty much Linkin Park is probably one of my biggest ones. And NF currently.
And currently, all right, that's two questions in one. Right on. Tell us about one of your own songs that hits you emotionally.
Shit. Uh, fuck, I don't know. There's a couple of them. Probably Life, honestly. Just because I'm so into that.
I happen to know another one, and I'm not gonna say that it's emotionally hit you in a soft spot. I mean, I can't say that for you, but I want to ask about the song "Legacy" that you have, because obvious inspiration.
I mean, it is 100%. My kids are everything to me, and if I can create a so that whole song is definitely 100% about them, and they are my main. Them and my wife are my number one reasons of keep going, and that one definitely gets me a little bit too, especially when I do it live with him. I don't know if you caught it last time, but when we did it last time, I had to stop because I started fucking crying.
Oh, I've actually seen. I did watch the videos, so I've seen. I may not have been there, but I've seen your damn performance. Damn it! But that's actually kind of a good segue into it. My questions. Do you have a favorite song that you like to perform live?
I would say so. It used to be Fear was my favorite, just because of how intense that is, and then it went on to Take on This Life. Um, that one's definitely a favorite of mine. But you unfortunately didn't get to see this. But time was a blast.
Hey, there. All right. I'm just gonna say there's plenty more upcoming opportunities, and I will be at that.
There will be. Unfortunately, I haven't announced it yet. Unfortunately, all the July shows that we have had to cancel because of some family aspects. I mean, you knew that, but I like actually put it out there. Um, but I am working on a hell of a lot more. So,
Well, all I know is that usually when you say that you're taking a break for whatever reason, we don't have to go into detail. That when you come back, it's usually with a vengeance, I guess, what you could say. So go do your thing.
we got
and
September.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We got something planned for September. Unfortunately, the bigger people that I wanted to come, I still have not gotten an answer. I don't think I'm going to. So it's just going to be the lineup that's there. The only is people have been following me. They know that Elements is not necessarily not a thing, but we're taking a break. A couple of things that has happened. However, Arson from Elements and I are going to be doing a few things together.
I think you and I discussed it, and it's not an ending. It's more of a new beginning and a fresh look on things.
Yeah.
I don't know how I worded it a lot better in our conversation.
I mean, it's not an ending. It's a beginning.
An evolution, I guess. We'll call it an evolution.
Yeah.
You have. It seems to me like you have quite a few features, but do you name some of the people you've gotten to work with, whether they're A-list, B-list, whatever, however.
Really, I really only have one. Well, actually, I have a couple. I guess sitting there thinking. So there's one that I do with a guy named Mike Vision. I haven't heard from him, nor I haven't heard from him. Let's just leave it at that. Other than that, Ritz is the biggest one.
But we can say that you've definitely opened up for a few of those high-ranking names.
Oh yeah, no, like opening up. You're like in the spot again, bro.
Sorry.
I'm like glitchy like
The
no
Wi-Fi
other.
spot. It started out as a joke, but now it's a real thing. The Wi-Fi.
Yeah, no, like we've been laughing about it because of the fact that like right now he's standing in the fucking spot. And you can't see me. All right, there you go. All right. Oh, no. Anyways, so bigger artists that I've opened up for. Can you at least hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit, I can name a whole list. King ISO, Jerry Robinson, AFRO, Ari the Rugged Man, Ouija Mac, Ritz, Mayday, Stevie Stone, Joey Cool. Mostly all strange stuff.
Has something to be shy about. Those are where some of the best fans come from, in my opinion.
I agree 100%.
Have you had the opportunity to do shows outside of Colorado?
Not yet.
You do have plans to do that, though. Is that right?
100%.
Why don't you kind of tell us about the last show that you threw and kind of what it everything about it. There's a lot. It's not just a concert when you throw your Awakening of the Undergods. So kind of tell us about that. All about it.
So Awakening the Undergod, I mean, that itself is an insane show. Last time, I mean, it wasn't the biggest turnout, but it was also the first time. I'm not well known at the moment, and probably still take some time for it. However, it was still a blast. I mean, we still killed it. Awakening is is a show that not only is our birthday bash, which I mean that's enough to talk about right there. My buddy DeafMonkey and I and my wife, all of our birthdays within a couple weeks of each other, so we shows like fuck it, let's party. Um, but the cool thing about this show is everything that we make profit wise. As soon as we start making profit, all the profit goes into an organization, a mental health suicide awareness organization. Last year, I went to a buddy of mine. Rodney Reese is where it went to, and they're trying to set up their own organization because their son, one of my friends, took their life a while back ago. So it all goes to a really huge, really positive aspect of it. This year we're changing it up, and we're going to be donating it to a different foundation that I think we'll talk about later. I mean, we will talk about it later. It's just we got a couple other questions to go through first.
But basically, in a nutshell, it's somewhat of a suicide awareness show and a birthday bash. And also, I mean, in my opinion, you've got some pretty big names on your lineup. So it's
this year is pretty cool. Like I can't wait. Like Izzy is one of my, I mean, probably my favorite right now. Actually, to be totally honest, I bump his stuff like 24/7. But him, the Jones, Undergods, us, and as of last night, I mean, I haven't actually gotten a hold of them, but they said that they would. I'm gonna get Ty Bishop and all of them. I'm gonna make sure that they play on that show because they're. I don't know if you saw my comment on it. That motherfucker is the like doppelganger of music for me.
Yeah, you guys do have a lot of similarities in your music preferences, your inspirations, and all of that. You guys were pretty similar.
Yeah, when I was listening to it last night, I was like, these are like all of my freaking answers. All you have to do is like copy and paste, and you're good to go. Somebody tag his ass so he can get on here. Anyways.
Oh, one of them's on here.
Oh yeah, one of them's on here. Hey, what up?
Viator, whatever his name.
Viator. Yeah, because he sounds like a freaking dinosaur.
There is a wasp on the floor.
Do you have?
On the floor.
Tell us about your last album. You dropped an album, I want to say a month and a half, 2 months maybe.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, of course, it's going to be the first of many. That whole album is basically a therapy session. It starts first song going from the first therapy session to the last song being the last session, but that last song goes into the second album. But everything in the first album is kind of like introducing. I've dealt with my.
Yeah, definitely. It tells. There's a storyline, and for me as a listener, I like albums that you kind of have to play all the way through to get the full effect instead of just throwing it on shuffle. I like those kind of albums.
The whole thing is only a 100%. Each song goes into the next, and I don't know if a lot of people have like caught it, but every single song mentions the song before and the song after.
Oh, so I'm gonna have to go listen and listen closer. That's interesting. I'm surprised I missed that. I'm all bummed out now. I'm like, God damn it, I'm really slacking here. Do you have anything new coming for us?
I'm actually finishing a song like a couple minutes ago. I was working on one. Yeah, I have a whole album that should be. I plan on getting out in for the show.
And is that we talked about it a little on the last show, but I definitely need a refresher. Is that a solo album or is that one of your group albums?
Both. So it'll be a solo album and an Undergods album.
Is this one gonna kind of have is it gonna have a storyline as well? And is it going to, let me kind of play along into the first one as like a sequel almost, if that makes sense? Or is it gonna be a whole new side of Cameron we've never seen?
I mean, it's definitely going to be different than what you've heard before, but it is going to be a sequel. In fact, I mean, as of right now, the album's called "In My Head Part 2." So
there you go, and we can expect that in September.
September 24th.
What do you want to tell us about your music career that I am dodging here? Because I know you got a lot to tell us, and I don't want to jump into your big surprise right off the bat.
I mean, so other than the fact that I'm going to be trying to start the whole new label thing, I mean, Undergods Studios is kind of a label, but there's going to be another thing that's going to be included with the. I guess we could start talking about it with the foundation. So I'm building a foundation. This foundation is going to be like a suicide awareness program. However, I'm going to be doing it completely different than anybody has ever done because of the fact that I'm going to have artists get in and join, and the target of it is to have these artists that feel this way, that have dealt with this, can go over and tell their stories, and instead of just calling a phone line, be like, "Hey, I need your help. Okay, where are you at? Let's go chill." These musical artists that feel the same go over and hang out, or the volunteers that we go over and hang out and stuff like that actually go over and have the physical reaction or interaction with the people that need help. So I'm going to be trying to build a nonprofit label based off of a foundation. That's that's like the biggest announcement that I got, really. I still don't really have a name for it. I'm working on some legal documentations on that. But basically, I'm getting together, myself, a couple other artists that I know that are willing to go over and put themselves out there and be like, "Hey, I'm right here. I can help out."
So basically, it's a help hotline, but for not necessarily just phone calls.
Correct. So the best way to explain it is like a Big Brother program. So somebody that needs this help goes over and doesn't call a number. They get onto this. I mean, they can call a number. That's going to take a little bit to set up, but they're going to go to this website. This website's going to ping the volunteers, and a volunteer is going to read their email and get a hold of this person. So we're going to have like certain volunteers that are ready for certain periods of the day that are ready to call them and be like, hey, where are you at? What can I do? You know, do you need me there, or can we talk? You know, there's a lot to work on it, but long story short, I'm building a suicide awareness program that's going to be the program on steroids.
That's incredible. And I kind of, it sounds a lot more impressive when you actually hear it versus reading it through a text message.
Yeah.
When you actually hear the
There was
concept.
so much. So there, I was at work. There was so much shit that was going through my mind. Like I'm like, oh, here's this. Oh, here's this. I'm gonna type this down. I'm gonna type this down. I'm gonna type this down. Oh, here's it. Oh, I'm gonna type this down. Oh, let me go talk over here. Let me go talk. Yeah, like there was so much shit that was going on in my mind. Like I could have built a fucking billionaire company last night with how much shit that was going through my head. So it probably made absolutely no sense when I was talking about it at first.
No, I mean, it makes complete sense. And I am really excited. And honestly, I'm honored that you would, invite me to be a part of something like this, because I think it's something that the world needs. I mean, it has its suicide hotlines, but I don't really know of anything like you're describing where, if you want an actual physical interaction with someone, you can get that instead of having to set up a doctor's appointment with your therapist, or,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of
So,
real-time scenario.
And that's the other thing is all of these programs go over and focus on the topic of why you're messed up. But nobody goes over and says, hey, screw all that shit. We're going to go over and we're going to talk about the stuff that makes you happy. I don't want to hear about what's making you sad. I don't want to hear that what's making you down. I want to hear what makes you happy. Let's go hang out. Let's go have a show. You
And I
know,
think
and for
that's
the people that are going to be reaching out and stuff like that, there's going to be perks. Like, you know, and I don't want to call them perks because if somebody needs help, you don't want to call it a perk. Be like, oh shit, I'm, you know, but there's going to be times to where a person reaches out and it's like, awesome, you're reaching out. I'm going to pay for you to go to the show. Come with me, hang out with a whole bunch of people that are feeling the same way, but are going to the show because music saves them.
in a sense, you can almost call it a pay it forward effect, because it's not, like you said, necessarily a perk, but it's an honest human being thing to do, just to offer and be like, let's go out, like you said, and instead of sitting here and talking about all this depressing stuff, let's go out and have an interaction with other people and just take your mind off of it for a while, and exactly. And I think,
yeah, I mean, it's
like,
not about ignoring.
in a
It's
sense,
not about ignoring about what the fact is. It's about going over and putting a cushion around something to where you fall and you're not going to get hurt because you have that cushion.
well, and I think if we can make this happen and get other artists on board, that's a good platform, because people are afraid to reach out. And I think if they see someone in a spotlight, in a sense, who's able to go and be on a stage and do a concert, that they're gonna gravitate to that in a sense. It's
Yeah,
God, I feel like such a fangirl when I say this, but it's like Chris Calico. Go ahead, call me a fucker, but people are attracted to him because of his openness with his vulnerabilities with his music.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that you as an artist are trying to show to the average person. Like, hey, I have this too, and I want to help you and share what I have with you in a way.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately, the really shitty part is there's a lot of artists that are going around that claiming that they have these mental issues, but none of them actually go over and be like, "Hey, how can I help?"
Exactly.
hey, you know, and if you get a group of people that are a family-oriented group, that not only, hey, we're musicians, we're kind of badasses, we're gonna, you know, rock a stage, but we know feeling. Let's do this.
Mhm.
What's up? Nice. Okay. Buffalo chicken
Dinner ready?
nachos.
I knew it. Dinner's ready.
Not yet.
One
They're making
day.
it.
Oh. Shit. One of these days, I'm going to make it up there for that taco night.
We're making
Where-
buffalo chicken nachos.
So, one of my questions, and I don't really get asked this on my show a lot, but are you married or in a relationship? Obviously, you said you have a song about your kids. Are you and Sammy classify yourselves?
I mean, we're engaged. We're technically married because of how long we've been together. Up in Colorado, you know, common law.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a wedding in October. I'm trying my hardest to make sure it happens, but there's only one person that I want to marry us, and well, that's Lorray. But
I am.
I am. I am.
I'm so there down. Yes.
She said she's.
If this is you asking.
If that was you asking, that she gives the thought that she's ready. She said it's a go.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we just need to figure out a good time and a good place. I want to make it perfect for her. Because I mean, the whole wedding thing, it's for her. It's, you know, I'm gonna be with her the rest of my life. Paperwork
How
and
did you
documents, I really don't give a shit. But
How did you guys meet?
Subway.
Subway.
Yep. I asked her if she liked foot long. She said yes.
Oh my.
Did you really? Oh my gosh, Sammy. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic though. Oh god. And I mean, I want to ask this next question, but I think you just answered it. How did you know she was the one?
Music actually.
It was the music.
Yeah, no, to be totally honest, I came over to her house and we went over and we were listening to Avenged Sevenfold and Pink Floyd and a couple other things, and we were drinking Jameson, and we got to talking about hockey, and hockey and music and Avenged Sevenfold, you put it together, and you got my attention for the rest of your fucking life.
And you were sold. You're like, sign the papers now. Let's do this.
Yep.
And how long ago was that? How long have you guys been together?
4 years, 4.5.
4.5. And this is kind of I wrote this question down weird, so bear with me as I try to figure out what the fuck I'm trying to ask you here. Is she going to be following you in your music career, or does she have her own kind of career adventure in her views?
Uh,
I mean, besides the obvious support system, obviously, we all hope our wives are going to be our
yeah.
support system.
I mean, she'll always be there to support, but I mean, I really hope she does something for herself.
Well, I mean, have you ever tried to talk her into making a song or getting into the music with you?
I've been trying forever. She has a phenomenal voice. She sings just like Emily from Evanescence, but she is so afraid to do it that she doesn't freaking do it. So if I can get a whole bunch of people to be like, "Hey, you need to do this," then maybe she'll actually freaking listen. Sean, 2 questions. First off, do you have another smoke? Do you want to share one?
Yeah, sure.
Second off, I want to. So, by the way, this is Sean Arson, the second, third of Elements.
The second, third.
How's it going?
Let's see. Yeah, here.
How's it
move
going,
over
my
here, 'cause, like,
man?
Not too bad.
And how
just chilling.
long have you been? How do you guys know each other? You.
So like 14 probably. So
Yeah, it's been a while.
20 years.
I know. You're in the Wi-Fi spot. Cameron, you moved.
Yeah. No, I moved so he can get out of the Wi-Fi spot. Just scoot over. There we go.
I see.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. I wonder if it's camera that keeps on freezing out.
It could be.
Your sound is perfect. But yeah,
It's because I'm using my 3D mic for it. What?
Oh, okay, nobody move.
What is I'm not moving. All right. We've known each other for 20. I think it's close to 22, 23 years. Yeah.
Wow. So how did you guys meet? Did you guys
High school.
together? High school?
Yeah, high school. I lived in a tent. He came over, said, "What's up?"
You lived in
Actually,
a tent.
I came over and we played football, and yeah, ever since
I
then.
went over to the tent.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I have to ask why you're living in a tent. Obviously, no judgment. I can't. I live in an RV, so I ain't judging. Been there, done that.
That's actually a long story, to be totally honest.
All right. We can have that conversation behind
Uh,
closed podcasts.
So basically, I'll talk about it. I mean, basically, my mom, my brothers, and I were in a really shitty relationship. My stepdad, now heard about it, and what the fuck is going on with this fucking camera here? My stepdad heard about it and took us out of the situation. He didn't have a place to live. He's like, "Hey, I can get out of the situation, but I don't really have a place." And we pitched a tent for what was it, my sophomore year through junior, something like that. And I went over in a tent from my sophomore year to my junior year just to get out of the abusive relationship.
You do what you got to do, right? So that kind of leads
But
me
this
to
motherfucker came over every single day just to make sure I was good.
so that kind of leads me into another one of my questions. You being an artist, what do you what do you do to give back to your community? We obviously just talked about your suicide awareness show, so there's at least one thing.
I mean, whatever I can, really. I mean, there is no full answer. Somebody needs help building something, I'm there. Somebody needs help fucking getting them out of a station, we're there. Fucking, we're
I'm gonna help you out.
we're just there.
I'm gonna help you out. The foundation you were just talking about, bro. That is definitely considered giving back to your community.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that. We just, yeah, we'll just go with that. It's like there is
We'll
such a,
just
like
go
a
with
longer explanation.
So, what are some of your guys' strategies on how to grow in your music? How do you promote and some of that stuff? Like, well, so one of the big topics is kind of the pay to play artists out there. Do you guys? I don't want to say that you guys are a pay to play artist, but when you go out there, is your goal to like shove promo down people's throat constantly? How do you how does your approach? How do you go get your fans?
Um, being on stage really is the biggest thing.
And then they usually just come back to our table, and then we get a chance to explain ourselves and everything.
I can vouch for that because seeing you guys perform live is there's no other way to put it but just an experience altogether. It really is.
Yeah.
So if you get the opportunity, definitely, I mean, go see any show that he's on, no matter what band or group of affiliation he's with at the time. Go catch it because you will not be disappointed.
I appreciate that, but it's true.
Here's a good one for you guys. You have a troll. How do you handle your haters? Are you the type to fight back, or is it
There's not enough time in this life to fucking worry about your haters.
Love haters.
But first off, like in reality, like I don't think I really have any. There was one during one show, like I thought I was gonna get in a fight with because he was like stepping forward while I was performing. But I'm doing my thing. They're gonna do their thing. They can go over, and I know my shit's real. You know, I know our shit's real. I know we go over, we put a show, we tell our story. Who gives a fuck what anybody else?
100? I love that answer. That should be everyone's answer. This is one of our fan questions. I want you to tell me, and I want one at a time, unless he just. All right, you're back. I want you guys, one of you, Cameron, you go first. I want you to relive your most hype moment ever, but I want you to relive it like you got to tell it like hype as fuck because this is hype as fuck. Any moment, fan reaction, stage, anything. Your most hype moment.
Yeah, I think both of us are gonna have the same answer on that one. We were standing. I mean, fuck, I could probably tell the story for both of us. We go in. We're at the Rock Theater, and we are standing in the quote unquote green room before going, and there is a full house, nothing but standing room because we are at the Ritz show, and all you hear is a whole bunch of people. I'm goosebumps thinking about it. Whole bunch of people just screaming, right? And who was it? It was Insane Poetry, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was. Insane Poetry comes over and is like, "Hey, I've been fucking with these guys forever," and blah blah blah. Elements, and it was the first official Element show, and going over and stepping on that stage and seeing people all the way to the back of the bar. And if anybody that's listening right now knows what the Roxy is, you got an open floor all the way to the back of the bar, and you just see everybody going over. And we started with The Storm, and by the end of that song, everybody was just had their phones out and jumping and having a great time.
It was like actually when me and Animate came out on stage, we looked at each other and we were like, "Holy shit!" that is a lot of fucking people. And then we both realized, like, they're already looking. We gotta fucking do something. We can't just stand there staring at each other.
It's like, oh crap, we actually got to sing.
It was just surreal. We even asked afterward. They said 180 people they thought at that show.
Dang. I don't think. Shit. I'll be honest. I'm really glad that there weren't that many people on the floor during my show. I'd have froze 700 and something. Ooh-wee.
Yeah. It's a lot of people. It's like a fucking sea of people.
That was insane. And we hit every single line. And we hit. I mean, that show pushed all of us, really. It's like the way that we see that show is that was our beginning. Now we're aiming for something.
Like, that's what we were fighting for, but now we know what we have to deal with.
Right, you got a taste, and now you gotta reach that level again and top it.
Yeah, we were thrown into the wolves like a motherfucker because our buddy Animate said, "Hey, I got to sell tickets to it," and the minimum of tickets, I think it was like it was 50 tickets, and we sold 82.
Nice.
We ended up being like, there was one person in between us and Ritz, so we were right at the end of the show. It was fucking crazy.
And I can vouch recently from learning from you over the past year that it's no easy task selling tickets to people in Colorado. There are a lot of you guys out there pushing tickets for these shows, so that's a hell of an accomplishment.
Right. For
sure. We do it time though.
Yeah, you do, and it's impressive. Again, I mean, tell us about Sean. Anything coming from you musically in the future?
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff. I should have a few new songs ready for September, and then I'll have some new shit coming for that too.
And you'll be at that show, correct?
Oh, what up, man?
Yeah, I'm on that show.
Right. What else you guys want to chat about? Come on, Cameron. Usually you're like, I got a million bazillion things to say.
I mean, normally I would, but I kind of already touched on them throughout the entire time, based off the foundation, the fucking the suicide awareness show. I mean, it's all been touched on. I'll be back.
All right, so then I guess I will ask.
I got one question for you. Yeah, we got to ask him that one question because of the fact that I know you've asked me this question. So go ahead and ask one question that you ask everybody.
Which one? Is it the question that I was about to ask both of you?
Probably.
Because the question I was about to ask, since you're both here, and even if it's not the one, what's your favorite dinosaur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know. I mean, probably Velociraptor. It's pretty dope. I like all dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are the shit. Dinosaurs are cooler than animals, I think.
Yes. They're cooler than people. They're cooler than Homo sapiens, whatever those are. I mean,
100%.
I've never seen one of those before. No.
Oh my god.
I think I've seen one at the zoo one time.
So the reason why he says that, there's this fucking TikTok, right? Collaboration. Hit me up. Yeah, I'm down. A million song ideas for y'all.
Of course you do.
Yeah, of course you do, man. You're a fucking genius when it comes to music.
Okay.
Well, TikTok. So there was a TikTok that was going over. It's the fucking leave for this. There was a TikTok that was. It's like, what do you think about Homo sapiens? This one chick goes over. It's like, well, I don't know too much about Homo sapiens. I know that we've been living without him our entire life, and I think we can go without him.
Yeah. What? That had me cracking up. And then something about, I seen one at the zoo one time, and the look on your face when you did that. Like, oh, sorry and shit. Like,
Yeah, I seen him messing with his widget dilly. I saw him
yeah,
messing with
that's
his
what
widget dilly, and I was like, oh yeah, my bad.
that's what.
My bad.
Oh shit. Yeah. Any more questions from the audience?
Fuck it. I don't care. Oh.
So I got. So David said he's got first dibs on collabs. I'm not gonna say no to that.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
For you, what is your favorite of any of ours from any of the groups?
I answered this last time and it's still the same. It's totally Spider Monkey.
That is a pretty fun song.
Yeah.
Let's see. Local artist wise, who like if you were to pick a show for local artist, what would your number one show be?
No joke, the one that you're putting on in September. And I would add Lilith the Sinful too. And definitely the Bedlam Brothers. And I mean, if I could pick anyone else to be at that show, no matter what outside of Colorado, local, my homie Bix. Dude, I could go on and on and on, seriously, but those are the main ones. You already have that lineup. You got Izzy, you got Jones, and is DJ Wasted local? Like, he lives in Kansas City? Yeah.
Kind of. So
Great.
he's like he's Colorado's like main strange DJ.
But yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he does a lot of the show for them.
Yeah, it would be you guys for sure. That show in September. That would be my
The show's gonna
ultimate.
be fire. That show's definitely going to turn out a hell of a lot better than it did last year, for sure.
Oh, with the lineup alone, we're already killing it here. Let's do a quick little promo for you. One of these days I'll be cool and I'll figure out how to do all this on my podcast and just pull up a nice picture instead of being like, oh, look, through all the glare. September 24th.
Pre-sale tickets. Yep, all ages. For one, because like Little Man's gonna be performing. I got a special performance with. It's gonna be a show. It's not just gonna be a concert. I got some crazy ideas that are gonna be going on that I like literally have to get permits for.
This is gonna be epic.
It really is. It's going to be straight up just fucking awesome. If it goes right fire, there's going to be water. There's going to be drums. It's going to be insane.
Dude. And only $15 tickets, and you can get them right now from any one of us that you're looking at. You need tickets, hit up any one of us.
I know. I was just about to say, fuck you, David. I know you're listening to me. No tacos. And one slice.
One slice. So we're reading the comments on things. So, David Roth that is commenting on here is a friend of ours that we've known all
From high school.
Yeah, school as well.
He's also an artist.
So will not
just
make
different
magic
kind of
tricks.
Yeah. I will. I mean, that would be amazing.
Yeah, we put the lower stone in
Oh, I don't know. Besides the questions you have written down, is there anything else that you want to ask, like off topic?
I am going to kind of ask you, it's a reverse question, I guess. I know that you wanted to come home and do your whole microphone setup. Is there a reason? Did you want to maybe do a quick little live for us?
I'm not sure if I can
Set up for
with
that?
the way that I have it set up.
That's all right.
Let's see. Let's see here. So I tried doing that honestly, but I don't know if I set it up right. Let's see.
Like David, there will be magic tricks if you provide the magic tricks.
Is it going to be magic tricks? I mean, jeez. Let's see if I can do this one.
I can't see it.
Okay, very good. Time in the session.
Can you hear me, or can you hear the music at all?
Yeah.
All right. Well, shit. Hang on. All right. So you were able to hear all of that?
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, cool.
They're really bomb. They need green onions, but they're bomb.
Okay, so we're gonna do that song real quick then, and let me know if you can hear me on it. And when are we planning it? Was that a question?
Yes. This is a very good question. When are you planning your next tour?
To get out of Colorado and take advantage, guys. Damn, that's a really good question, actually, and then really valid one. So we were supposed to go on tour last year. It got canceled because of all the shit. I'm working with a couple people right now that it's kind of looking. I think it was like March of next year that we're going on a big one.
So there you go, March of next year.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming. I mean, finances and life sucks right now when it comes to money and trying to get there, and
Really everything, especially
planning
here in
anything
our
ahead
state.
really doesn't,
it's like
he doesn't really hold much around.
any dates. You can't blame it on. So I'm not blaming it on COVID. I'm just blaming it on finances because of
COVID.
shit that happened last year.
Like,
Yeah,
you
they
fucking,
say
that's what
I
it
can say that.
is. Let's be real here.
I mean,
Our president.
but at the same well, the thing is that at the same time, I really can't blame anything on COVID. How many shows did I play during? We played more shows than any other artist did the entire period of the time when COVID was going. Fucking.
Yeah, exactly. But now we're feeling it's not necessarily it's the economic domino. Like, you may have done your shows, but at that time we weren't paying fucking $6 a gallon for gas either.
Yeah. We got a DeafMonkey trying to get a hold of me.
Uh-oh.
No, he's not answering.
How do you talk to a deaf monkey?
Hand signals.
Like this?
You have to take pictures of hand signals. Oh,
Sorry, I make this more lively, dude. I'm trying to make it as lively as possible. All right, the motherfucker's not answering. All right, let's see if I can do this here. So we're gonna go ahead. Call me. Yeah, I will. Actually, let's see here. Doo-doo-doo. Right.
Shit! Time in the session. Is there anything you'd like to talk about?
Need some time, it's just a fusion. Need a break, it's just a fusion. Clear out your mind and get out of body. get out ahead and get out of bed. Only thing that's in your life that really is guaranteed to equals death. Then we focus on our dream. I took the illusion and put it in the hourglass and made a goal. And I stepped ahead and I put it in. Can you hear me at all? Can you?
So we can hear the music, but you get washed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no vocals.
Yeah,
All right.
it's kind of it's a little, I don't know what the word is, sketchy.
Damn it.
Skippy-doo-dah.
All right. Well, maybe we'll figure out a way to be able to do some kind of like online live show at one point and
Yeah,
make
I'm
it a
telling
little bit better.
you, we're gonna have to do a live on location show one of these days. I'm gonna have to come up there or something.
That'd be dope.
Shit, let's go take over a fucking park and do this
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that. In fact, the person that I just answered the phone to actually has some speakers that we're gonna be doing that to. What up? No, you're good. What's up?
No, like, yeah.
I got hype as fuck and Sean with me right now.
He's all nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
So while I got you guys in here doing whatever you're doing over there, I just want to say to everyone watching, if you guys caught the beginning of the show, I have a fancy new opening to my podcast, and I can thank Mr. Widow and the weird monkey man on the phone for putting that together for me. So thank you very, very much for doing that. I appreciate it. And I don't care if anybody else says, I freaking love it.
I will be getting a hold of you tonight about a couple other things too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know my line's always open. So you're munching. I'm hungry. We've been on here for an hour. Are we going to call this a show? Cut and print? We're good to go?
I mean, yeah, I can go on for 2 more hours.
Oh.
Well, I'm burning the fuck up, so I'm not going to lie to you. I want to strip. So I need to get off camera.
Cheers.
No, thank you guys for being on the show. You guys, thank you for watching. As always, you can catch this guy at Widow the Artist on IG and Widow on Facebook or Cameron Webb. John, do you have any handles you'd like to drop that we could follow you on?
I just have my Sean Arson page on Facebook, and it's just my normal profile. Me and him are getting an artist profile started here soon for me. So,
and when that happens,
you know
I will
when that
definitely, I'll definitely be sharing that around when it happens. So we'll get your link out there. But again, thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. Thank you guys for being on the show and just being fucking awesome. You already know how much I love and appreciate you guys. We'll have another show and we'll do some funky shit.
all right.
Yeah. I gotta go do some. So.
All right. So until next time, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Hype as Fuck, which I believe my next episode is this Saturday with the Jones. So tune in for that. Have a great night, everyone.